Hello, welcome everyone. Thanks for liking my videos and subscribing to my channel. I do appreciate it. My name is Tim. I bring you Villages related content. The Villages is a 55 plus community located in Central Florida. It is the fastest growing community in the nation, according to the 22-23 Metropolitan Statistical Analysis. It's also the safest city in Florida, with a projected crime rate of 930 crimes for every 100,000 people. There are approximately 150,000 people that reside in the Villages. In today's video, I want to answer a subscriber's question and comment about healthcare in and around the Villages, Florida. As many know and as many are concerned, healthcare is important when you retire in the Villages, Florida. And I want to talk a little bit about your options of healthcare, where some of the locations are, and show you on the map. And what I have in front of you is the Villages Health website. And the Villages does offer healthcare. They offer specialty care as well. I personally have a specialty care physician as well as a primary care physician with the Villages. And what I found helpful is to register on the Villages Health patient portal. And if you register, you log in, you can actually message your doctors, and communication is actually very easy. You can get some of your health results when you log on to the patient portal, and it is thevillageshealth.com patient portal. If you Google that, you will get there. And the Villages Health is very good in my opinion. You can find some very good physicians, primary care doctors, as well as specialty doctors. And I personally have a primary care doctor that I go to down at the Lake Deaton Plaza area. And they do have a lot of different locations for the Villages Health. And I wanted to show you some of those locations that the Villages has in the Villages Health. They have the Brownwood Care Center, the Colony Care Center, Creekside Care Center, Mulberry, Pinellas Care Center, Santa Barbara Care Center, and onward. And I go to the Lake Deaton Care Center, and I do go to the Spanish Springs Hospital occasionally to see my specialty physician, as well as the Brownwood Care Center. And overall, I think the care is good. The ability to make appointments, I usually make an appointment when I'm at my primary care physician. I'll make a 6-month appointment, and usually everything flows very smoothly. In fact, when I was in Wisconsin, I would have to wait a long time to see a doctor. Even when I showed up and I had an appointment, it would take a long time. And what I found was the wait times are very low. Once you show up, if you have an appointment, they do see you very quickly. That was my experience, and I was very surprised and happy to see that. The only thing I would say about the Villages Health is that they have so many different centers to go to, and the doctors do schedule appointments at different centers. Like my specialty care doctor, she'll schedule certain days. She will be at Spanish Springs certain days. She will be at Brownwood. And sometimes the communication will get messed up, and occasionally I'll show up at Spanish Springs when I should have gone to Brownwood, things like that. So that would be the only thing I would say you should really watch for if you are going to get health care at the Villages Health, is you really need to know where you're going. Understand that the doctors do practice out of several different facilities. Some of the facilities are actually hard to find. The Villages does a great job of blending these medical facilities into the community, and sometimes it's hard to tell that these facilities are even a doctor's office or a rec center, because some of these are located near recreation centers or town squares. So the only thing I would say about the Village's Health is know where you're going. Some of these buildings are really hard to find. Otherwise, you will need to spend some time and really do some analysis on what physician you want to care for you. Like most other health systems, you can find good physicians, you can find not so good physicians. So, my advice is to shop around and look around for the best physician that you can. I'm on a private health insurance. I do not use Medicare at this point. So I have to look around to see what doctors, what hospitals are in my plan. And for the most part, most of the Village's physicians are in my plan. And I do have a Blue Cross and Blue Shield plan out of Florida. And overall, it pays very well, and the claims get processed very smoothly for the most part. On occasion, you will need some larger surgeries. And if you need to use a hospital, you can use the Villages Hospital, which is located up at Spanish Springs, which has now been taken over by the University of Florida. I have not used that hospital. That hospital generally did not have a very good reputation. I do suspect or expect that after the University of Florida takes it over, they should improve it. The University of Florida healthcare system is really good. It's widely known. They have I think, a top tier cancer program with the University of Florida. And I know a lot of villagers, before the University of Florida purchased that hospital, they chose to go elsewhere to a hospital and get medical care. And I know a lot of the villagers, including myself, I did have a large surgery recently as of last year. I had a hernia surgery, and I chose to go to Advent Health up in Ocala, Florida. And I know a lot of villagers will choose to get their hospital care at a hospital other than the Village's health care. And I chose Advent Health. It's very good. The only issue there is it is about a 20 or 30 mile drive from the Villages to downtown Ocala. The traffic can be terrible at times. Otherwise, I would recommend Advent Health. They did care for my surgery needs, and it's kind of like a default hospital that some of the villagers will go to if they are uncomfortable going to the Villages Hospital in Spanish Springs. I wanted to show you and talk a little bit about dentistry. And just as a side note, Advent Health, my doctor did have an office located on 441 and US 27. So he has a satellite office over on the historic section of the Villages, and the surgeries he performed are at the hospital in Ocala, Florida. I want to talk a little bit about dentistry as well. Dentists, I have a private plan for my dentist, and I use Smile Design Dentistry. This is located up on US 27 and 441 right here on the map. And dentist insurance was hard to find, especially private. I did find a policy through Humana that was somewhat reasonable, and that policy compelled me to use this dentist at Smile Design Dentistry, located on US 441. That's the only dentist in the Villages area that my private policy covered. So I am limited to where I can go for dentists and dentist appointments. I also wanted to talk about other care. If you have specialty care needs, there are other doctors and specialists in and around the Villages area. And I have a urologist, and I use Dr. Mark Dersh, and he is practicing located here in Oxford, Florida. That's his office right there. And his main office is out of Ocala, Florida. He has a satellite office in Oxford, Florida, which is right along County Road 466 in the northern part of the Villages. So, and he operates under Advanced Urology Institute, which is out of Ocala, Florida. So you will find that some of the physicians and hospitals in Ocala will have some satellite offices in and around the Villages. So if you choose not to use the Villages health system, you don't have to. So there you have it. That's my video for today, talking about healthcare in and around the Villages. Overall, I think the healthcare is very good. If you do use the Villages Health, they can get you in for appointments. They're very timely when you do. I really never had to use them for an emergency or urgent care, so I can't really speak to that. But when you have an appointment set up in advance, they seem to be fairly easy to get a hold of. You can email them and chat with them on the patient portal. They seem to be very responsive if you chat with them on the patient portal, and I really recommend that's how you do it rather than making a phone call. In terms of refilling prescriptions, I recommend you use the patient portal for the Villages Health to communicate that as well. And they're usually very responsive. Within an hour or two, you will get a return message. So there you have it. I do recommend the Villages Health and some of the other competitors in and around the Villages like Advent Health. That is your video today. Thanks for liking. Thanks for subscribing. Feel free to share this video with anyone you feel is interested in this content. Have a great day, everyone. Stay safe.